One of my main memories from the old church on King Street was I always went to the Sunday school class that Jenny Gross taught. And one of my favorite things about it was that she brought these little Debbie cakes, these little chocolate swirls with vanilla cream and cherry Coke. And so there was one Sunday where she wasn't there. And they had this new person that they had just hired to do the youth ministry named Vern. And I was like, who is this random guy? And where's the little Debbie's? So I was kind of disappointed when I first met him. But as the conversation and that time went on, he had a way of engaging with me and the group in a way that I just felt really seen and really cared for. And then he invited me to be a part of the youth group. And something about that connection with him made me really want to do that. And I'm looking back now, I'm so glad I did. And that youth group just had a culture that was genuine. It was true, like loving community. And the reason I knew it was true was when I went to the high school and there were older, upperclassmen from the youth group, and they were kind to me and welcomed me, even though I was just a lowly freshman. Well, my hope for this church is wherever society goes, it seems things continue to be very polarized. And I think it's really important that we can make spaces for everyone and for diversity and to learn from each other. And I really hope that the church continues to do what it did with me, which was to see the strengths in our youth and our young people and let our young people lead us. One memory that really stands out to me about that transition is I remember there was a lot of excitement. I remember we had I think it was a picnic at the shelter, and we were also given this opportunity with our family to create this like cement stone where we could write our name in it. And there was some rocks or something, and we were able to place these stones over by the picnic shelter over there. And that was a really meaningful thing to feel like you're kind of the part of a foundation. You're part of the bedrock of kind of a new season of the church. And there was a lot of excitement around that. Well, from my experience, this has been a place where you get an opportunity to have relationships with people from all ages. And something that really stands out to me, especially from the time in both places, at King Street and here in New Market, was a man named Tom Cottingham. And Tom Cottingham just had this way about him that, again, whoever he was talking to, you just kind of felt like he found you to be a really special person. And I feel like he took time to like pour wisdom into me as like a little kid. And there's not a lot of places in society where there's that multi-generational friendship. We're so far removed. Our kids are all with people their own grade, typically at work. You're kind of the same type of people. So this is that's a gift of the church, but specifically this church did that very well for me and in my life. Another fond memory of my childhood growing up at Boone UMC Methodist Church was we would come early to worship because my mom sang in the choir. And so then my dad and I would sit in the fellowship hall and drink some or have some coffee. And that's when I would have some time with Tom Cottingham and some other men. But then being in worship as a child with my mom in the choir singing. And then there were seasons when I had a sister also up there singing in the choir. And I think that really also did kind of lay this foundation for me of church music being something that is really meaningful and a way to engage with God in a way that is more than just it's kind of brings your heart and body and soul and all things into worship. It's just by using what gifts God has given us.
What?
And I have to share about my 6th grade confirmation, because when I was a 6th grader, I was just really getting interested in wanting to play guitar. And I got paired up with a sponsor of Neil Hartley. And Neil and Audrey Hartley became second parents to me. And Neil gave me cool lessons, which have really paid off. and he showed me some guitar things, and that again, this gift of having multiple parents, multiple grandparents in our lives is just such a gift that you forget how much that their investment in you really has enriched your life until you stop to think about it.